There is so much hype around the new cinematic mode feature on the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max. Now, I've had this phone for a few weeks and I've been testing all of the new camera features. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering cinematic mode in a lot more detail. Specifically, how to film and edit your cinematic footage on your iPhone 13 Pro. Let's do this! What is going on? It's Anil. Right, cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro. I know everyone's got so many questions about it. What is it? Is it any good? Is it just a gimmick? Now, I took the iPhone 13 Pro Max out last weekend and I filmed the whole day using only cinematic mode. Now, before I get into all the details about how I filmed and how I edited that cinematic footage, let's take a look at the results from my filming session last weekend so you can see the kind of results you're gonna get with cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro. Ooh, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Now guys, before we dive into cinematic mode in a bit more detail, please smash the like button. Guys, just smash the like. Hit subscribe, little bell icon. You're gonna get notified when I drop the next video. With that out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. So the first question on everyone's lips, what is cinematic mode? Well, cinematic mode is Apple's new videography feature. It's basically software generated depth of field. Now, this is something that you traditionally only get with a big chunky camera and a big lens. Now you can get this on your iPhone. I was really impressed of how good it is. I mean, it's not perfect, but you saw the results. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. So how do you use cinematic mode? Well, it's pretty easy. All you need to do is launch your camera app on your iPhone 13 Pro. Just swipe up a few times until you see cinematic mode. And you're just ready to go. As soon as you start filming in cinematic mode, you will notice that the iPhone will start to automatically detect objects and faces. It will also rack focus to those objects. Now, Apple does a great job of this, but it's not perfect. It will dance around a lot. It will try and figure out what you're trying to focus on. You can also tap on a subject if you want to readjust the focus. And if you tap again, you can then track that subject. So that's pretty good. I was definitely impressed when I was filming with it. Now, when it comes to editing your cinematic footage, there are a few options. There's two options that I explored. The first one was using the standard Photos app, and also Apple have updated iMovie to allow you to edit cinematic footage. Now, both are very similar in how it edits cinematic mode footage, but I preferred iMovie. I think the UI was slightly better, and also you can load all the clips into iMovie and just create your sequence directly from there. Now, iMovie isn't the greatest video editor on your iPhone. The features are like non-existent. And if you're a fan of my channel, you know that I love CapCut. I think it's the best video editing app on the iPhone today. So one option is you could edit your cinematic footage in the Photos app and then just export them into CapCut and take advantage of all the features that CapCut gives you. For the purpose of this video and to keep it really simple, I decided to just do everything in iMovie. So that whole final sequence I showed you at the beginning of this video was all done using iMovie. So let's get to editing some cinematic mode footage. I'm gonna load up iMovie, open my project up. I've got a few clips on here. I'm gonna pick one of the clips. This is a good clip to use. Now, if I select the clip, you'll notice that I'm already in cinematic mode. There's a little icon at the bottom that shows you when you're in cinematic mode. You've got the timeline here. You can see just underneath the clip, and you'll notice these little white dots there. Now these white dots is where the phone has automatically racked focus on different subjects. So as I scroll through that timeline, you can see a little yellow box. Every time I hit a white dot, it's moved the yellow box along. It's pretty cool how it's trying to detect the objects for you, but it's not perfect. And this is the beauty of cinematic mode here in post, is you can change all of it. So if I take this clip here and go to the beginning, I can tap on a subject. It will now stay tracked on that subject all the way through the timeline until the next focus change. So the next white dot, it's moved to the next subject. But what I can do is I can change all of that. I can move along to here, just tap on that subject. I can move to here, tap on that subject. If I want to keep that subject fully on focus, I can then move to that white dot, change who is in focus. As you can see, as I'm going through that timeline now, I've tapped and changed the focus point on my wife there, Annabelle. As she's walking through, focus is remaining locked on Annabelle. And what I can do is, as I'm going through, as it's starting to jump a little bit, I can then tap on her again, on each point that I want to change. She's still in focus. I'm moving through. Right, as I get to this point here, I'm gonna tap on focus. There you go. And as I'm getting through the timeline and I wanna start switching the focus, I can do that. So here, I wanna change focus to my little girl Scarlett. I tap on Scarlett's face, and now it's gonna start tracking and pushing her face into focus. And as I pan around, she's pointing to the object over here, this haystack. I'm gonna tap on that haystack and bring that into focus. So if I play that whole clip back now, you can see it's tracking Annabelle on the left all the way as we're walking through. And there you can see now, at some point now, I'm gonna be changing that focus point to Scarlett. As she points to the object, I've moved now the focal point to the haystack. And it is so easy to do. All that is done all inside of iMovie. And if I wanted to, at the bottom here, I can change the depth of field, the blur effect. You can see here it's at f2.8. If I wanted to, I can move that up to f16, get everything sharp and in focus, or I can go all the way down to f2.0. and have more of that blur effect. Also, what you can do is if you make a mistake, you can tap on one of your yellow dots and then just delete it. There you go, and it just resets it. Unfortunately, you can't tap on any of the white dots or delete any of those. Those are kind of embedded into the video. How powerful is that, guys? And the best thing is, you don't have to get it right when you're filming live. You can go in and edit your footage afterwards if you make a mistake, so you don't even have to worry, you just have to film it. The phone is capturing all that data to allow you to change and shift focus and allow you to change that depth of field in post. How awesome is that? So although I'm a big fan of cinematic mode, I do like it, it is good, but there are some problems and some issues that you should be aware of. The first thing is it's locked to 1080p at 30 frames per second. And that's why I'm filming this video in 30 frames per second, because I'm limited. Cinematic mode is locked to 30 frames per second. Hopefully in the future, Apple will give us 25 frames per second, 24 frames per second, give us a little bit more flexibility. I'm not sure if 4K will come. It seems like there's a lot of data processing happening with this feature. So 1080p at 25 frames per second for me, or even 24 frames per second, I think that would make it even better. There is no ultra wide support yet. You can only film in the wide and the zoom lens in cinematic mode. It's not a massive deal, but I'm just a big fan of that ultra wide lens, and hopefully they will turn that on in the future. Those issues are important, but I think the biggest problem for me, and something that's just holding me back from really just falling in love with this, is the fact that you can't focus on multiple subjects at once. I noticed on a few occasions where it was tracking two people together, but it was only focused on one person's face. At this point, I couldn't focus both people in that same shot. I had to reduce the blur in order to sharpen up the image, and I think it's not a massive deal, and if you could probably get away with it by maybe on those shots just removing that depth of field, but it might be something that Apple might fix in future updates, so fingers crossed on that one. Also, you got to remember, this is all software driven. It's not always going to get it right. I noticed this kind of halo effect around objects. What I would suggest is in post, just play around with it. You don't always have to have the blurriest background. Increase the f-stop, make it more sharper. Get your sequence correct. And it really depends on how you're filming. If you're really close to a subject, I definitely recommend going to a higher f-stop. If you're at a distance, you can probably blur out the background a little bit more. You've got to play around with it. It is fun to do, trust me. Don't keep everything at f2. It's gonna look weird, it's not gonna look realistic. Try and move some of your scenes to f8 or something like that. Make it more realistic, make it look like it was filmed with a big camera. So that's it, guys. You know what? I was very impressed with results. I enjoyed the day out filming in cinematic mode, and I really kind of enjoyed editing it in iMovie. Although iMovie was very limited in features, it wasn't too bad. You know, I pulled together the little sequence, added a little music to it. There's a couple little filters, you can change a little bit of color grade on there. But like I said, you can export all those videos and put it into your favorite video editing app. If you're watching it on a big screen TV, you're definitely gonna notice some of the problems that you get with cinematic mode. But if you're watching it on your phone, uploading it to social media, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. So guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a comment below. If you're using cinematic mode, let me know how you're getting on. Check out these other videos and I'll see you in the next one.